In London, Ontario, what they have is a billboard. Now, London is not known for its big problem with gun crime. But for some reason, they decided to spend their money that they get from either donors or businesses or associations or government and put up a billboard that shows two pistols and what looks to me to be a shotgun. It's a bit of a fuzzy picture. Yeah, it's a shotgun. That says, "Guns are the problem. Crime Stoppers, 1-800-222-TIPS." You know, what's this all about? Well, Rod Giltaca joins me now because he's someone else who noticed this. He is someone that runs an organization or speaks for an organization that looks out for the rights of firearms owners. The Canadian Coalition for Firearms Rights. It's actually based in the nation's capital. Rod joins me now. Rod, what were you thinking when you saw this giant billboard in an area not known for, being the shootout at the OK Corral town?
Well, it was an interesting thing. It came across my desk early this morning, and when I first saw it, I thought, it's probably an ill-conceived message. But I did take a couple of hours off to think about it before I took any action. And what I ended up doing was writing an open letter to Crime Stoppers just to find out what exactly was their motivation, what they were trying to achieve, because to say guns are the problem is obviously incorrect. So our role is to try to help them along and educate them on the topic.
There are how many licensed legal gun owners in Canada?
This, in fact, was part of my letter to them. I did remind them, or at least shed some light on the fact that there are over 2.2 million licensed gun owners in Canada. And in fact, there's also, we believe, 21 million firearms within our borders. And StatsCan reports that we have about 150 firearm-related homicides per year. So guns, it doesn't seem like guns are actually the problem.
No, I wouldn't think so. Now, excuse me, we do have a shooting problem in Ottawa. I think we're, for the sleepy nation's capital, we're not used to an awful lot of crime. We're up to about 50 shootings, roughly. We keep a sign posted in the newsroom. Last time I looked, I think it was at 49. I haven't looked in the last couple days. That is a shooting problem, and that is a problem of guns. But I'm betting that they're not licensed. I'm betting they're not members of your organization or any of the other quality organizations that are out there that speak for gun owners.
Yeah, they're definitely not part of these organizations. They're not part of the law-abiding gun-owning community in general. There's a problem with shooting in Ottawa. There's also a problem with shooting in Surrey, and out in my neck of the woods, out west. And I think what I keep asking, and we've had similar issues out west with, Surrey City Council not wanting to give a permit to a gun show because of all the criminal shootings. And I think if I could impress upon any of these people is, you have to bear in mind there's no relationship between these criminal shootings and people that would go get a firearms license. There is no relationship there. And it just seems to be, and I've used the term before, intellectually lazy for a lot of people just to take information that they've gotten from the media and just connect those two because it's very convenient in conversation. But, there is no connection between those groups, even though, yes, there are some shootings, and they're all illegal guns with unlicensed owners.
Well, I mean, it's not husbands and wives shooting each other. I mean, we know what's going on with the shooting problem in Ottawa. It's gang warfare. It's turf war over, quite often, it involves turf over drugs or other illegal activities. I believe there were a couple that involved a love triangle, but that was still within the gangs, and that's been what's dominated the problem over the first 8 months and a week of 2016. Nothing to do with people like yourself or myself or anybody else that is involved in what our local councillor Jody Minnick calls the pew life.
Mm-hmm. And an interesting point about that is, even those shootings that we're talking about right now, this is only a handful of people I mean, at best, like a couple of hundred people in an urban center where there's millions of other people. Same thing with Metro Vancouver. And if you focus in on Surrey, I mean, like literally, I'm sure this is a turf war between 300 people, and they represent, an unqualified number, like 95% of all shots fired in this, in the whole area. So, when you contrast that to these millions and millions of law-abiding gun owners, whether they're licensed or not, right? Because there's still a lot of people in Canada that didn't get a license when the laws changed. None of that crime comes from these people, and Stats Can has shown that, and it's not an opinion, it's fact. So it's really important for people to understand that.
I've been told in the past that the stats in Canada show that if you're a licensed gun owner, you're less likely to be involved in gun crime than even a police officer.
Well, I could be mistaken, but it's any crime, including property crime or fraud or any criminal activity whatsoever. That's my understanding, but that's not a study that I've memorized.
Okay, yeah, it's been a little while on that. Any reaction to your letter, or what's the reaction of your members to what London, Ontario Crime Stoppers has said?
Certainly, there's lots of reaction from our members. I think when last I looked at the Crime Stoppers London Facebook page, it was around 350 comments. I don't think they've ever had 350 comments on any post as long as that Facebook page has been up. And I did actually take the time to look through every single one of those comments to find an opposing opinion than the prevailing opinion, which was, this is mildly offensive to gun owners because you're pairing us with criminals, and it's overwhelmingly, anti their campaign. So I'm not sure whether we'll get a reaction from them. If I were them, I probably wouldn't engage us because we're on the right side of this issue, and it'll just be embarrassing. But hopefully they think twice next time before they do that kind of stuff.
Do you think they should take it down?
I think I agree with what you said in the beginning of the program, which is whoever was in charge of this particular campaign does not represent everyone in the Crime Stoppers community. I don't want to paint with too broad a brush. I mean, yeah, I'd love to see it taken down, or I'd love to see at least them make some kind of gesture to say, that's not what we were intending. We kind of screwed up a little bit, and everybody does. Unfortunately, if you screw up on a radio show or on television, you can almost be forgiven because there's a lot of pressure there, and maybe you said the wrong thing. But when you've got a billboard campaign approved and you spent $10,000 on it, a few people had to give that the thumbs up. What do you think?
I would think, and perhaps not the best use of money if your goal is to bring down crime rates or to alert people to who police are looking for. Even if you agree, if you're on the side that says, oh no, guns are the problem, how does that billboard help reduce crime in London at all?
Well, it absolutely doesn't.
Yeah.
Even if it had perfect messaging, are the criminals going to look at that and go, yeah, you're right.
I'll turn myself in.
My illegal guns are the problem. Yeah, I don't want anything to do with with problems any longer. So I don't know.
Rod, where can people find out more about your organization?
They can find us at www.firearmrights.ca, and we also have a knowledge-based website that the CCFR members have paid for as well, called gundebate.ca.
Okay, and your videos, by the way, if people want to learn more, they want to see more, your videos are fantastic, very well produced, very informative. Thanks for the time.
Appreciate it.